Hello, snail riders and berry carriers. This is the first in what I hope will be a long series of videos covering detailed tips, techniques, and trivia about the Killer Queen arcade game. In this video, I'm focusing on speed. On your screen is the basic experimental setup. Dusk map with one worker already riding the snail, so the snail won't interfere. The width of the map itself is the space for the experiment. First, a standard worker drone traverses the entire width of the map. I'm running straight through in a loop and measuring from the first frame that shows the first pixel of the worker on the left until the second time the worker shows up again on the wrap. For the standard worker, this takes 231 frames at 30 frames per second, or 7.70 seconds. Next, we add another population to the experiment, speed workers. The speed worker makes the same trip in 171 frames, or 5.70 seconds. This is 35% faster than the vanilla worker. For the next participant, we add a vanilla warrior running the same path. The warrior takes 274 frames, or 9.13 seconds, or just an 18% difference in speed compared to the vanilla worker. A speed warrior, however, covers the same course in 203 frames, or 6.77 seconds. The pattern repeats. A speed warrior runs 35% faster than a vanilla warrior, just like speed versus vanilla worker. Right now, it may look like warriors are slower than workers. That's because warriors run slower than they fly. If we put our warriors up in the air, we can measure their speed again. Turns out, a vanilla warrior flies at the exact same speed as a vanilla worker runs. If I draw a line on the screen, this is clearly visible despite the warrior being at the top and the worker at the bottom. The same is true of speed worker versus speed warrior. They move at the same rate. And so the horizontal speed difference of vanilla versus speed warrior, when flying, is the same as for a worker when running. There's one more comparison to make. Bots. I can't control where the bots go, so I can't use my map-wide course to measure their speed. Instead, I'll use this blue bot desperately trying to feed himself to the snail before gold wins. I place a vanilla worker in the same spot, let them run for the same amount of time, then measure how far they got. In the time that the worker runs 600 pixels, the bot makes it 480, a difference of 25%. But wait, what about the snail? This requires a new experiment. To measure the speed of the snail, we start the timer on the first frame where the worker has jumped onto the snail's back. Here. We let the snail run unimpeded from this starting position until it reaches the net, stopping the timer here on the very last frame before the game is won. So let's play that once more, with vanilla and speed workers each running the snail the same distance. It takes the vanilla worker 1092 frames to make this trip, or just over 43 seconds. A speed worker can complete the same journey in 957 frames, or just under 32 seconds. Do the math again and, you guessed it, a speed worker moves at 35% faster than a vanilla worker while riding the snail. Do note that this footage, unlike the rest of the video, has been sped up, just to make it a bit less boring to watch. There's just one last detail left. An enemy worker can feed themselves to the snail to slow it down. With a vanilla rider, the snail eats each enemy worker in 110 frames, or 3.67 seconds. With a speed rider, she eats each enemy worker in 55 frames, or 1.83 seconds. Exactly twice as fast! Workers beware feeding yourselves to a speed snail. And there we have it. I hope you found this video informative, entertaining, or both. Please comment and let me know what you think and what else you might like me to cover. See you next time!